And so recently, the folks over at Winbridge sent me a speaker that can pretty much do it all. It's a radio capable of digging through different channels, it's a Bluetooth speaker that connects to your phone, it's an amplifier for any of your audio devices, even instruments, and it's a voice recorder with an included microphone and even works for public speaking. I'm pretty stoked to actually dive in. As per usual, let's go ahead and start off with an unboxing. Just open up the box and pull out the speaker from the box and remove the protective foam around it. And inside, you will also find a wireless microphone, instructions, micro USB cable for charging, and a 3.5mm cable with a power brick as well, so you can use with that micro USB cable. Pretty cool. The exterior design is going to consist of plastic for the entirety of the build, and it's still a hefty speaker that feels fine. I'm certainly not afraid of it not surviving a drop or two, since it does still feel like it's built pretty strongly, and I do appreciate that. The microphone, on the other hand, is very lightweight and hangs onto your head and behind your ear. And it's comfortable to wear, and because of this, it has a few buttons to give you some control over it. And you've actually got a power switch, volume controls, and a pairing button. And the speaker itself has a lot of buttons and ports to look out for. And you've actually got a volume wheel for the microphone, and an M button used for pairing and channel searching, and your typical music controls for skipping and pausing, a record button, a micro SD card slot, a USB-A port, and a 3.5mm aux port, a microphone port, and a micro USB port for charging, and lastly, a headphone jack. You will also find a display that presents different values and a volume wheel that also behaves as a power switch, and this is going to be for the speaker portion itself. And there are two different pairing situations with the speaker. To pair the microphone with it, for instance, you have to turn on the speaker and press the M button 3 times until it enters pairing mode. On the mic portion, flip the switch to turn that on, and then press the pairing button for a little bit, seconds or so, and they should pair right away. And to pair this with your phone over Bluetooth, all that you have to do is just go ahead and turn it on, and it immediately showed up for me on the Bluetooth list, so I just clicked on H5 and I was good to go. And it's quite easy to pair, which is very important and quite useful. And now first, I want to touch on its functionality as a Bluetooth speaker. And it does actually sound pretty good, I'd say. And it's not overwhelming in terms of bass, and it's probably a little more on the tinny side if anything, but the sound has pretty little distortion, which makes listening to almost anything a pretty good experience. Have a quick listen. And I would consider that that is actually an apt amount of time to familiarize and to become attached to an operating system. And the last iPhone I personally owned was the original iPhone SE, and before that I had an iPhone 5S and an iPhone 4S, I believe. There's also a voice recorder feature, which is activated by plugging a USB stick or just a micro SD card and then long pressing on the record button to begin the recording process. And this is what the recording would sound like. So I guess that this is what a recording would sound like. If you just wanted to listen to what the recording would sound like versus what it would sound like live or something like that, then this is what you would be hearing. This is the actual quality of the microphone, not being filtered through the speaker. Even though it is still being amplified a little bit, it's actually in recording mode. So back there, it should be getting a relatively clean voice recording, I would say. So what you will be hearing at this moment is what that would sound like if you were interested in the recording mode. And you've also got the radio functionality, which by just pressing the M button once, you can enter the FM mode to let you look through the different channels, and long press on the play pause button just to have it automatically cycle through all of the different channels, and it is actually pretty neat. And now, as a simple amplifier, you will be able to hear what it sounds like if you use this for public speaking or something like that. So again, here is an example of just that. Okay, and this, what you're hearing right now, is the sound of the microphone. This is at a pretty low volume. So there are actually 2 ways of increasing the volume of this microphone. However, you do get a lot of functionality with this. And if you're somebody who's going around and that has to make a lot of speeches, maybe you go to a lot of events, something like this would be very useful because it would amplify the sound of your voice by quite a bit. And I don't have any exact battery life ratings but I haven't had an issue so far with either one for prolonged use. And by that I mean I haven't had any issues with the speaker portion or the microphone portion itself. Left them charging after I'm done using them for a couple of hours at a time, so they've never actually ran out of battery on me. And I think that for as long as you're going to be using them at a time, most likely you're not going to have any kind of battery issues, and just make sure that you're always keeping it charging. And there are some things I would like to see improved in the future though, and I do wish that the micro USB port was a USB-C port instead, and I would prefer if the micro SD card slot was a full SD card slot instead. Also, some water resistance would have been a little nice, but it's not a beach speaker, so honestly it is okay. It's just always nice to have when it comes to any kind of speaker, considering you are meant to take this with you wherever you go. And that's pretty much it. This is a speaker that is capable of doing quite a lot, and I definitely intend on keeping this around for a long time. I can see it coming in handy for future events or just as an everyday speaker and a voice recorder in case I ever need to use it in that way. I don't see myself using it as a radio necessarily, since I already have all the music I need in my phone, but yeah, I think that the asking price of $110 is honestly just fine for something like this, and you do get quite a bit for your money, in my opinion. So with that said, highly recommend it. And if you're interested in purchasing this kit, then I will be making sure to leave affiliate links to Amazon and LUSTRE in case you're looking for any kind of purchase alternatives or any kind of sales on this product, since it'll help you look for those and give you some advice along the way. But links to everything below, so if you end up using any of my links to make a purchase, I get a small commission that helps me run things just a little bit more smoothly, so I would appreciate that quite a bit. And also, if you like me enough, come stop by my Twitch streams, and as I like to stream every Friday and Saturday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. I'm going to leave that linked down in the description, as well as my links to my Twitter and my Instagram in case you're interested in staying up to date with the latest and greatest in regards to the Tech Summit endeavors. But with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.